The Great Paper Caper by Oliver Jeffers. Wow. Advanced Paper Planery. Your guide to pulp-based aeronautical excellence. So pulp is the stuff they make paper out of when they get the wood and they get it all smushed up into this thing, and then they roll it out in sheets, and that's how they make paper and cardboard and different things like that. And this is for Kate, whoever that is, somebody important to the author, I guess. And again, you should read along with this. Okay, look at the pictures, but read along. The cursor will be under the words. Okay, so we have a lot of people living underground here in the forest. There was a time in the forest when everything was not as it should have been. Everyone who lived there had been noticing strange things. Branches, they agreed, should not disappear from trees like that. Look at that. So here's a beaver, obviously complaining about it. Branchless trees. What's going on over here? Someone, they agreed again, must be stealing them. And they each in turn blamed the other. So here you can see all the people that all the animals and people that live in the forest are blaming each other for the branches disappearing. Poor trees have no branches. But they all had solid alibis, which meant it couldn't possibly be any one of them. So the tree thief must be someone else. So an alibi means they had proof that they couldn't have done it. And we can see here the beaver said must be saying he was in the water, and the goose was at the hairdresser, and the deer was playing video games, and the pig was cooking bacon. That's just not right. And this person was sleeping, and the owl was, what was the owl doing? I'll leave that up to you guys. And then what's going on over here? Oops, too far. It was all very mysterious indeed. Now, that might be a problem, don't you think? Look where he's cutting this branch. And then the owl thinks the branch is still there, goes to land and ploomp on the ground. An investigation was launched to get to the bottom of things. They were each given a different job to do so the tree thief could be caught. I'll be the detective and you be the judge. Why do I have to be the judge? Why not him? I'm the prosecutor, that's why. The prosecutor is the one that, the lawyer in court that takes the criminal, right, and files the charges against the criminal. And then now we see who's stealing we had an idea he was probably stealing the branches, but here we see him dragging off a big old branch. And it says the 112th biennial, that means twice a year, paper airplane competition. Next Saturday, 2 p.m., all entries welcome. So they're still investigating because they didn't see that bear dragging away the branch. So here's their investigation. They took photographs, made notes, and examined every leaf. But no matter how hard they investigated, no clues could be found. Uh-oh. Apparently, somebody's practicing paper airplanes. And he's hiding from them. Then an eyewitness report led them to some evidence that had blown in not far away. What blew in? And it had a bear's paw prints all over it. He's dusting for paw prints like they dust for fingerprints. Hello, police? they had found their culprit. Check this out. Here's a big paper making machine. This says paper making machine. And this says advanced paper planery. So he has plans. So he makes plans before he makes his paper airplanes, like you guys should be doing in Makerspace. And he is making all kinds of paper to use from his branches. So this machine must make it into pulp and then lay it out in sheets. And pulp is pretty wet, so it probably dries it too, which is why there's smoke coming out of these stacks. Okay, so now what's happening here? We see they must be telling the police about it, and now the police are going to here. But look at Bear. Champion 1936, champion 1972. Being the airplane champion, paper airplane champion, is in his family. He had two of his relatives, probably grandfather and father, or great-grandfather and grandfather, won before. So how do you think Bear feels about not being able to win before this? The Bear was brought in to have his picture taken and to appear with other suspects. Let's see, he's in a lineup. And was kept late into the night to answer questions. Where were you that night? So the goose is asking him the questions. And somebody's back here. I thought he was taking notes, but I guess he's just reading the paper. The next day, he confessed everything in court. All about the paper airplane competition and how badly he wanted to win. And he knew he wasn't very good. And he had run out of paper. And he had no one to ask for help. He was so sorry for taking their trees. He hadn't meant any harm. So he's explaining about wanting to win here. Now this, the court reporter's taking notes. Well, all right, they all thought, but he'd have to make it up to them by replacing the trees. And a paper airplane competition? That sounded interesting indeed. This court is adjourned. That means that it's over and they all get to leave. The Bear kept his word and made it up to them. So you can see he's planting seeds for new trees. Sadly, they'll take many years to grow. But he's doing the right thing. He's replacing the stuff he cut down. And as the others helped him gather up the old paper planes, they had an idea. They put them all together and made a new one. Wow, that's a giant paper airplane. And it says 112th Paper Airplane Competition Finish Line. So imagine how far that giant paper plane could fly. Plus, now Bear has a whole bunch of friends in the forest, but before he didn't have anybody to ask for help. Fin. Now this means the end in French. And did Bear win? We don't know. It doesn't say in the other page. So let's see if we can figure it out. Because right here it just says a finish line and he's waving, but it doesn't say if he won or lost. So here he's watering the tree. So let's look at the rest of the picture. So this must be his little trailer that he lives in. And right here I see something. Looks like it might be a trophy, which would mean that he won.